What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I tried looking in the news and on X.com to see what people are saying about this drop and why it's happened. Or not statistically speaking, realistically speaking, the drop happened because we were over leveraged to the long side, right? We had too many longs, not enough shorts. Literally at the bottom, we had more longs than shorts. Now we have more shorts than longs over the past 24 hours. Let's look at the last 30 days. The shorts and longs are still pretty evenly matched, but there's still a lot of longs. You guys, the reason we're moving down, if you're looking it up online, it's not because there's fear that the United States government is going to shut down. That's far away. No, that's not. That's not. And it never shuts down forever. That's it's it's always just this little pissing match between the left and the right side until they come to some kind of agreement before they raise the fiscal cliff, or what is it, the debt ceiling. There we go. Anyways, all I'm trying to say here, guys, is whatever you're looking at online, and I couldn't find a good enough reason. There was no like big scary black swan event or anything like that. Not that this is a black swan drop, but whatever you're finding online, it's probably BS. The reality is why Bitcoin is dropping is this. There are on Binance, OKX, and Bybit. These are just three exchanges. The top exchange, two of the top exchanges for liquidity trading. I don't know why OKX is on here. I mean, not that there's not a lot of liquidity on OKX, but there's probably exchanges that have more long and short positions, I would think. Anyways, with that being said, there's a majority of longs in the space over the past month, not shorts. And I believe while we're down here, we're going to flush out the longs even more before we move higher. Build on the shorts, pile on the bears, and then once the shorts are at maximum effect and the longs are diminished, that's whenever we move up. And I think we're just prodding, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I think that what's happening is the market makers are prodding to see what dip will cause this kind of capitulation in longs, and they're just going to slowly prod down there because you don't want to send this thing crashing, right? We're not trying to crash the markets, crash everybody's good time, and then end the bull market. No. We're not trying to do that. To be completely fair, though, we could go all the way down here and everything would still be fine, and that might be what it takes. This could be exactly what it takes to clear out all the longs. By the way, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I've said it a few times throughout this range. I don't think the low is in. I do accept that we could go below this low, but I don't think we go below this low. Okay, and I still don't think we go below this low. But in all fairness, if we were to go below this low, where would we go? From a low to a high here, the intended area would be about 104.5 to 101.1, something like that. Or if we overlap this from a low to a high, oh, I gotta sneeze. 105K looks really good. That 104 to 105K area looks really good. And if we were to get down to 104, 105K, that puts us all the way down here. We're clearing out $12.5 billion worth of longs out of $14 billion. So we would decimate the longs, pile on the shorts. These positions would flip flop, or people would add to the shorts, however it is. This is why we're moving down and not moving up. This is why. Because there's no other reason. There's really no other reason. The only other reason I could think of that people aren't talking about is that on the 1st of October, we have that finance committee or committee of finance from the Senate. They're meeting to discuss taxation on crypto. Now, I mentioned in my video yesterday, if you saw it, I mentioned that maybe they'll talk about how there's not going to be any taxes on United States cryptos. Maybe there will be friendly crypto taxes implemented. But I'm thinking this, okay, this is my thoughts. This happens on the 1st. The people who are meeting here, they probably already have, because this is a week away, they probably already have a very established idea of what it is they're going to talk about and what it is that's going to be promoted, okay? If it was friendly, my thoughts are the insiders would be buying it up. There'd be some bullish things going on, right? Because the insiders have friends who are very wealthy who they talk to as well. That's how all this stuff works. It's not legal, but it's how it is. It's regardless if it's legal or not, doesn't matter. It's how it is, right? It's like you can make sunshine illegal. If you go outside, you're still going to get some. It's just how it is. It's not quite the same as that, but just to explain it simply, it's just how it is. If we were moving up, I would think that there'd be some perceived good things coming out. And then once the good things are come out, we buy the hype, we sell the news, right? But what we're doing here instead is dropping, right? Yesterday is whenever this came out, and that's when we started to drop. This announcement that we were going to get this hearing on the taxation of digital assets in the United States Senate, okay? And I'm assuming that yesterday, when that news came out, that we're going to get a hearing here, I'm assuming that there were insiders that knew about this back here. They've probably known about this, and they've probably known, whoever they are, that there's going to be some perhaps not friendly regulatory stances on crypto taxes. Hopefully, it's nothing terrible. Hopefully, it's all just the same as it's been. You know, treat it like capital gains, treat it like standard income, stuff like that. Hopefully, there's nothing that pushes people away from the crypto markets. But I'm just saying, coming down like this makes me think that there's going to be some things that people aren't happy about. That's what I'm trying to say coming into this event. Beyond that, we also had 3 big ETFs come out at the top, literally on the 18th of September. We had 3 big ETFs come out, okay? We had the GDLC ETF come out, which is the basket of ETFs, of cryptos, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, XRP, and Cardano. The United States Strategic Crypto Reserve, all-in-one ETP. We had Dogecoin and XRP, 2 top 10 cryptos, all those things getting their ETFs, three very big ETFs coming out all at the same time. I think that in correlation with this is why the market's coming down. If anybody needs a reason as to why, if you need a reason, the reason why I think is the charts, right? The charts, the dynamics, the liquidation levels. But if you need a news related reason that's not good enough for you, okay, fine. Here, that's probably it. Those 3 things are probably the most compelling argument for why the market's moving down right now. Thing number 1, longs are overpositioned, over leveraged. Okay, in my opinion, they are just a little bit, but still. 2, GDLC ETFs and the GDLC ETF and the Dogecoin and XRP ETFs. 3, Senate hearing on how we're going to tax digital assets on the 1st. That's why I think we're dropping all 3 of those things together. And I think after this date, that's when we'll start to pump up again. I think October is going to be a good month, but at this point, I'm starting to think we don't see this end of month rally. Anything could happen. Anything could happen at all. You know, if we just move down, if we make a nice little move down to here, and these longs flush out and the shorts pile on dramatically, maybe then we do see a little end of month comeback, a little hoorah by the end of September. But I'm not holding my breath over it, you guys. It's very possible that this time September does exactly what it did the last 2 years in a row. This will be the 3rd year. It closes green, but very neutral. I expected this September to close more than 8% to the upside. Looks like it's not happening. It's probably going to close neutral. I would be surprised if it closed red. But at the same time, even if it closes red, it's going to do what the most common outcome is, which is to close neutral. Not to have a bloodbath, but to close neutral. That's typically what it does. We define neutral as less than 7%, or is it less than 8% of a move up or down on a month. Why is that? Because if Bitcoin can't move 8% in a month, man, that's a pretty neutral month. That's really not that exciting of a month. Anyways, daily time frame. Doing a lot of talking here. I'm sick, but I'm getting over my cold. I don't know if you guys can hear it when I talk. Let's see. We take a relative low to a relative high. You're at the golden ratio. Found support of the golden ratio. Came up to the 382, just like we forecasted in yesterday's video. You went a little bit higher, right? I was thinking you'd hit this 382. You'd stop right at, I remember I said 113.8K would hold this resistance. You went a little bit higher. I hope nobody got too bullish on that little bit higher. I remember I was making a video on ZBCN, and literally at the top I was like, yeah, but it's probably going to come down from here. It went a little bit higher than expected, but it's probably going to come down. This is probably a bull trap. And, well, validated. Here we are at the golden ratio again, 2 times. I'm probably going to start patting myself on the back, because I've got all these trolls coming out of the woodworks, right? I never do that. I never pat myself on the back, but they always address whenever I'm wrong, and they say that I'm always wrong. But they never address when I'm right. And I'm right more often than I'm wrong. And I know that. I think a lot of you guys know that too. Anybody with the brain knows that if you just pay attention to my videos. You watch 10 random videos of mine, tell me that I'm wrong more times than I'm right. I know that I'm right more times than I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. Who cares? I hate talking about being right or wrong, but if it matters to these trolls so much, I'm just going to point out all the times that I am right because I don't know. I guess I have an ego now. 382 getting rejected here. Very obvious call because that's what happens. Golden ratio bouncing. 382 finding resistance. Coming back down to the golden ratio. I mean, this is such a common thing to do when working your way lower. The expectation here would be 786, 886. And whenever I'm right about that, I'll address that I'm right about that, but I'm not going to be bragging. I'm not going to be jumping from the rooftops because being right, being wrong, it's not a big deal. It's making money that's a big deal, okay? You can be right 9 out of 10 times and lose money. You can be wrong 9 out of 10 times and make money that one time. You really can. It's all about risk management. It's not about being right and wrong. You'll know this if you leverage trade. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you've never been in a position where you've been right. You've had like 4 or 5 winning trades in a row, and then one trade comes along and it wipes out all those wins. Tell me that's never happened. It's not about being right or wrong. That right there tells you all you need to know. In fact, people that being right or wrong matters to tells me that you're new to the space, that you're a new trader, that you're very low level in experience, and that's okay. I'm not trying to insult you. That's just, it's a fact, right? It's like a telltale sign of your level in this area of progression. If being right or wrong matters to you so much, you're caring about the wrong thing. You need to care about money. What are we here for? We're here to make money, not to lose money, but to make money. Not to be right or wrong. Who cares, right? That fuels your pride, your ego. We're here to make money, right? Fuel your security, your financial security, and freedom. 109.5, 108.5, somewhere in that 108.4. That's where we're gonna go. Okay, that's the area to find support. If we don't find support there, or I should say, by the time we find support there, if the longs have not decimated, we will continue to drop. Okay, I'm open to changing my stance to lower levels than this here. I'm open to changing my stance to seeing like a double bottom, a slightly lower low maybe. But I want to see how we do when we get down here. I want to see how we do when we get to these levels, and I very much do expect we'll get there. It is Wednesday. Is it Thursday today? It's Thursday today. I would think that by the end of the week we get down here. We'll see. But, and if not, maybe next week. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised if going into the 1st of October, we just continue to drop, right? All the way over here. And that doesn't mean that we're going to see terrible, terrible things until the 1st, but the 1st is over here. If we keep dropping at this pace, more or less, I mean, I even shaved it up a little bit there. We could definitely see things that are below 105K in that time. Absolutely, we could. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. We are going to go higher. We are absolutely going to go higher. The bull market's not over. Anybody who's telling you the bull market's over, ask them if this is their first cycle. Okay? Anybody who's telling you that the bull market is over and it's the bear market, ask them if it's their first cycle. I would bet 9 out of 10, if not more, would have it's their first cycle. So in that sense, I would say that not that they don't know what they're talking about, but maybe what they're talking about is not backed in experience, and experience really matters in this game. It really does. You don't have to be smart. You just have to have experience, okay? It's not technical analysis what we're doing here. The reason why I'm good at it or bad at it or whatever, it's not because I'm smart or because I'm dumb. It's because I'm experienced. It's because I've done this for 10 years, right? And let me tell you, in my 10 years, you become very immune to the emotional things that the market throws at you, right? Like you really do become immune to that. This is nothing. This doesn't matter. What, we're consolidating? We're consolidating now for multiple months? Wow, we haven't seen that before. We've never seen that in this bull cycle. That's not happened once and then ended up in a positive way. How many people here thought that we still had lower to go? I remember back here, I thought that we had lower to go as well. Right? We flipped bullish sometime around here before the big move up started happening, but we were bearish pretty much for a good bit of this consolidation phase. Bullish all the way up here as well. How many people were bearish here, saying that, oh no, this is the end of the cycle, we're getting a triple top, that was it. The 3.5 theory, right? All these people thinking 3.5 theory. Steve promoted the 3.5 theory, and now he's one of those guys that pretends that he's always right. He never admits whenever he's wrong. Shout out to Steve. You know who you are. But yeah, where's the 3.5 theory now? The 3.5 theory was never a thing. It was never a thing, you guys. That was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. Double top, it's just like last time, right? People have been bearish at every single one of these consolidation phases. This is debatably, not debatably, objectively, this is the most tame consolidation phase we've had this whole cycle. And people are bearish. If we went back any other from June and earlier of this whole bull market, and you told people that we would hit 120K, come back down to 107K, and people would be bearish at 110K, they would laugh at you. They'd laugh at you. They'd say, but the bull market's over, can't you? But it didn't pump though. No, you're dumb. You're not dumb. You're not dumb. You're just emotional, and that causes you to make dumb decisions. Again, you don't have to be dumb to be wrong in this game. You don't have to be smart to be right in this game. It's experience. And the people who are saying that the bull market is over, they're inexperienced. I would bet a lot of money that anybody out there who's saying the bull market's over, this is your first cycle. It's been a long first cycle. It's been the longest bull market we've ever seen. The people who come out on top of this market are going to be more seasoned than any first cycle participants ever in crypto's history. You guys are going through something that genuinely is character building here. You have to put a lot of faith into markets, because all you've heard this whole cycle is promises of what the cycle is going to be, and you haven't seen really any of the results other than for Bitcoin, and Ethereum's come to life a little bit recently, but other than that, not really anything else. This is gonna promote a lot of winners. But anyways, I'm rambling at this point. This is probably, what I'm saying here is probably better for another video. I might make a video talking about this exact stuff, but I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves, all right? I'll see you on the next one. The bull market's not over. Bye-bye.